Hello friends, this is Olga. Today I'm in this absolutely beautiful kitchen and I'm going to be making some juicy, delicious ribs. We're actually visiting our family on the east coast of Florida. We're having a really great time. This morning we went on a boat, we went out for brunch. It was so much fun, and tonight we're starting dinner. We're using baby back ribs, and right now I'm going to season them. So I made this spice rub and it has so many different spices and herbs, and all of this is going to add so much flavor to the ribs. I have some paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, lots of dry herbs in here, and I'm just going to rub it into the ribs on both sides. And if you have time, you can do this in advance, which will make it even more flavorful, give it time to really marinate. So you can do this up to a day in advance and then just put it either in the oven or the grill, but we'll get to that later. I'll explain all of that as we're going along. All of these herbs and spices already smell so good, so I'm sure it's gonna taste delicious. So right now I'm actually gonna put the ribs into the Instant Pot, and that's an electric pressure cooker. And this thing is amazing because it cooks meat so quickly and it makes it really tender. Ribs take quite a while to break down, so if you don't have an electric pressure cooker, you can just put it in your oven. I'll have all of the details on my website if you want to do it that way. But the Instant Pot will make this really fast, and then we'll put them on the grill. So if you season these in advance, you can put them in your refrigerator, like I said, up to a day in advance. Otherwise, you can just put them in the Instant Pot right away. We're actually making 2 racks of ribs, and I've got both of them inside the Instant Pot. I'm gonna add about 1.5 cups of just regular water to the bottom of the Instant Pot, and then we're gonna cook these ribs for about 35 to 40 minutes on manual mode, high pressure. The ribs are perfectly cooked through already, but they're not falling off the bone, which is great because we're going to put them on the grill and we don't want them to fall through the grates. So we're just going to take them out, put it on the grill, and we're going to put some barbecue sauce on top of it on both sides. Use any type of barbecue sauce that you like and pour it into a bowl, just because it's going to be easier to spread it out on the ribs later when it's on the grill. Today we're using 2 types of barbecue sauce. We're going to have 2 different options. But if you want to, I have a homemade recipe for barbecue sauce on my website too, or use any kind of store-bought sauce that you like. Preheat the grill on high, clean off the grates, and put some oil on it with paper towels, and then put the ribs on the grill. So of course, as we're recording this, we've got the train going, we have thunder, and we just had a plane fly by. All of the noise.
That won't affect the quality of the ribs though.
Yes, the ribs are still going to be amazing. And it's about to storm. We're about to get a thunderstorm. We're waiting for it to start pouring at us. As long as we get this cooked, we're gonna be fine. So the ribs are actually completely cooked when we take them out of the Instant Pot. All we're doing is getting a nice sear on them on the grill and adding the barbecue sauce. You can do this step in the oven if you don't want to do it on the grill. Just put it under the broiler or on a really high heat in the oven, add your barbecue sauce, get it nice sear for just a few minutes, and that's it, and they're done. So we're back home and I made the ribs one more time, and this time I'm going to finish them in the oven. By the time we had finished cooking them at my aunt's house and got them off the grill, it was pouring so hard you couldn't hear anything I was saying. But they were so good. They were so juicy and tender and so delicious. I cooked them for the same amount of time, 40 minutes. Actually, I cooked them for 38 minutes. But since there's only one rack of ribs in there, they are so much more tender. And it's gonna be fine in the oven because I don't have to worry too much about them falling apart because they're gonna stay on the baking sheet. So I line the baking sheet with aluminum foil and I'm just gonna put them in the oven just until they get nice and golden and charred. As you can see, the ribs are so tender. They're practically falling off the bone right now. And they're just so juicy. All we have to do is put the barbecue sauce on and put them in the oven just until they get some char on them. Just a few minutes in the oven. I had it under the broiler. See how tender it is? It's almost falling off the bone. You almost don't need a knife to cut these ribs. Wow, so tender. The meat is just going to melt in your mouth. Look at that. Yep, that is how tender it is. Thank you so much for joining me in the kitchen for the easiest, most tender and delicious baby back ribs. These are so good. By the time Sergi gets home, I'm gonna finish half of these by myself.